Hello, good morning, viewers. Oyekanluwole Basi coming live to you from Nigeria and Ogun State specifically. I normally review Dr. Sunday Adelaja's book in Pidgin English, but this time we are not going to be reviewing it in Pidgin English again, as some of my audience are complaining that they don't understand what I am talking about when it comes to Pidgin English, and they want to be carried along. So I have decided to and I took opinion poll and I realized that most people want it in good English. So that is why I'm here live with you using English to review these books. Also, we will not be reviewing the book in Calabar again or Ibibio, but I will be doing it in just two languages, Yoruba and English. Yoruba and English. So let's go. Now, today we are talking about Orange Revolution in the book Church Shift. Church Shift book that became the best-selling in the world. Church Shift book that became the best-selling. And we are looking at Orange Revolution. So Orange Revolution is the chapter 12. And in this time we are looking at the first lesson that we learn. You see, as my introductory statement, if Nigeria actually want to be free, we have got to start up a revolution, because it's only revolution that have solution to Nigerian problem. Poverty, killing, kidnapping, exactly like the way it were in the Europe. So that is how it is in Nigeria today. Poverty, kidnapping, and until the church rise up and start movement, nothing will change. And in this chapter, Orange Revolution, we are going to be looking at how church can effect a positive revolution in a society. We are looking at the part of the church and the part of the society at large in terms of effecting the positive changes in our contemporary society. So let's go. Now, of course, there is only in a few nations, the developed nation, that there is no problem, issues, and all this kind of poverty, kidnapping, killings, HIV/AIDS, prostitution, drunkard, people sleeping in the gutter, homeless children, mad people. It's only in the developed nation that such phenomena is reduced. But like in Nigeria, this phenomena is the order of the day. It's corruption, especially the corruption aspect. The corruption in Nigeria is so endemic, such that even the politicians themselves, they want something to be done to stop the corruption. They are just tired. It's just like a rat that have taken poison, that has destroyed him so much, such that he feel like he should be killed himself. So you see them coming out to even confess that they are even corrupt. The money that they've been stealing for long, they've not spent it, and they are still stealing more. So the thing is choking them by themselves, and they are coming out now. But however, it's only the church, the change in the church, that will lead to change in the society. Okay, now let's go to number 2 lesson. The change in the church. Only church can change society. Let's go to number 2. The action that the church take against all social problem will determine the action that the community will take. Now there is two. Let's take example. Now there are two faces in society. Let's just assume it is only two: the church, and on the second hand, the nation or the community. The church. What this number 2 lesson is saying is that the action that the church is taking, the preaching of the church, the movement of the church to take over the community, the preaching of the pastor will simultaneously determine what the whole nation will do. So, like Here we are talking about Orange Revolution in Ukraine. So there's going to be numerous examples that we'll be using from the Embassy of God for All Nation Church, which is led by Pastor Sunday Adelaja. All what we have been talking since chapter 1, we are going to see the practicality today. Let's go to lesson number 3. Lesson number 3 says that church people are to lead protests and revolution, and pastors too should be involved in it. Church people are to lead. You see, unlike Nigeria, where church pastors encourage you to hide, to focus on only yourself, to pray for only your family, to do all this kind of egocentric issues, do all this kind of egocentric stuff. But here we are encouraged, churches are encouraged to even lead the protest, because if church lead protest first, people will not die, because church knows the kingdom principle of doing things. People will not die. The objective of the progress will be derived, will be obtained. So if only church leads the protest. So that is what this chapter 3 is talking about. Now lesson number 4 that we learned is that the Dr. Sunday Adelaja has been prophesying from the day that his church started that church will lead through church, God will remove all the Pharaoh in this land. Through church, all problem will solve. That was his intention, and he was prophesying those stuff. Then this prophecy plus the demonstration of the church led to the Orange Revolution in Ukraine, and today the whole Ukrainians are happy, and foreigners and abroad citizens too are happy that Ukraine is changed. People can now go there. But about a decade ago, it was worse, because the oligarchical people, oligarchical clients were taking over this nation. They were taking over this nation. So that is what we are talking about, that church, that pastors must see vision on how nation will develop. Pastors must see vision and even lead this development. And pastor must add this development, socioeconomic development, in his message. The best message to preach, the message that solves the problem of I was poor, I was sick, I was in prison, I was in hospital, I was a prisoner, I was a stranger, all those disenfranchised people. That is the message of the church. And that is why God said, even you that is a leader will serve the least when it comes to the kingdom of God. Okay, now let's go ahead and look at church must also provide the whole community. In the process of the revolution, church must provide things like tent, food, flour, Bible, all those kind of things. Church must make the intention of the people, of the poor people, of the masses that are protesting. Church must make their intention be known and be accepted by the government. The intention must be known by the government. Church will provide the people with shelter, good clothing for during the protest. That is lesson number lesson number 5. Lesson number 6 that I learned from the book is simply saying that when revolution start, there will be spiritual unity. Like, for instance, there was no unity in the church. There was no unity among the Christian body until revolution start. What do I mean by that? In Ukraine, then they have Protestant, they have Pentecostal, they have Protestant, Pentecostal, and all those kind of things. They have Orthodox, all those kind of different churches. It was during this protest that there was sound unity. Among them. So protest will bring unity even in the body of Christ, and also in other body, in other sphere. Protest will bring unity in all those spheres. Sorry, I want to slide this camera. People were not okay. Sorry, excuse me. Still stay on. Still be on, please. I just want to try to do the right thing. I just want to try to do the right thing. Please help me shift this. Just want to try to do the right thing. Shift this thing back. Sorry, viewers. It's better to do the right thing. All right. I think I'm cool now. Because now you can see it's spacious. Yes, so let's continue. Lesson number 7 said the bold masses would always win at the end. The bold masses will always win at the end. So whenever there is protest and the masses refuse to be deterred, refuse to be backed off, they will win at the end. Of course, Yushchenko won the election as the rigging was revised. Okay, what happened? Let me give you the full gist. Yushchenko was the presidential candidate and he won the election. But of course, as a usual practice, the rigging was revised. Through rigging, the election was revised and the sitting political power won it again, even when the people voted a new man called Yushchenko, but they revised it and then the people marched to the city. So at the end of it, the people won. Okay, now let's go and look at some statement of the Ukrainian, both the president, all those kind of people. Let's go and look at their statement. Their statement says that, the statement of Ukrainians, they were saying that if not for church, Ukrainian would have remained like this for long. Nothing would have changed except for the help of church. So that is lesson number 9. And that means that for there to be a revolution in the community, church must start taking its what is called its stance against evil. Church must start taking its stance against evil. So the prime minister said without church, there would have not been solution. Okay, number 9 lesson says that from the day God principles started touching nation, that is when the nation actually gained independence. This is interesting. From the day church principle start reaching out to nation, that is when the nation actually gained independence. So a nation does not have independence until church principles start reaching out. Okay, let's go to number 10. Number 10 is what the woman prime minister said. He said we need born againism and our faith. Not God that need born againism and our faith, but the nation. For the nation to develop, we all need to be born again and and have faith in God for a nation to be developed. So born againism is not for you to go to heaven, as it is. Of course, it's for you to go to heaven, but I'm saying that it's primarily for we to gain dominion here on earth and help poor people. Born againism and our faith and our Christianity should be for national development. That is what this person is saying. He said it is for our own benefit, for our nation to develop. Born againism is for our own benefit, for our nation to develop. That is what we are talking about. Now let's go straight and look at 5 lessons learned after freedom. So freedom will bring 5 lessons basically. Freedom will bring 5 lessons basically. When you protest, when you go for contest, when you do all those kind of things, there will be 5 lessons that you will surely gain. Number 1 lesson is God blessing. God prayer will start to answer in the community. God blessing will start to saturate in all aspect of the community. That is number 1 lesson. Number 2 lesson is that nation will be free from killing and crying and all. Of course, if God lessons saturate in all community, of course, kidnapping, all this kind of banditry, all this terrorism, killing, ritual killing, all those kind of things will be reduced, if not totally eradicated. So it will happen just like that. So that is number 2 benefit. Number 3 lesson is evil people will start to die. You don't need to pray for evil people to die. Evil people will start to die naturally when revolution happen. You will not kill them. You will not do anything. For instance, a bank, the governor of Central Bank, I think Central Bank of Ukraine or something like that, or a bank like that was holding the economy down. When the president come, when God's kingdom-minded president came into scene, that banker needed to, God needed to remove the banker for another person to come into place, and that is where the nation start experiencing development. The wealth of any nation will be transferred to the poor masses. Interesting. There will be transference of wealth from few elite, from few oligarchical group. There will be transference of wealth from few people to the masses when revolution start, when things start. That is the outcome of revolution. And then finally, the last thing that I want to say is that the world is groaning, waiting desperately for us to do something before socioeconomics will be tamed, before socioeconomic problem will be tamed. This is the last lesson that you will learn from the other that I benefited from the book, because I'm doing book review now. So ladies and gentlemen, we had a long teaching because there was no way I could summarize it. If I summarized, I would have missed some vital points, and that is why I have come to do it fully like this. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Please help me to subscribe. Please don't watch. If you watch this video, try to help me subscribe. I am begging you, because we cannot do live streaming now until we have 1,000 subscribers. And this book review does not look like what will end anytime soon. So we need your subscription to do much. So thank you very much, and God bless you. Like this video, share it, and God bless you. Thanks a lot.